What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to present a framework for learning anything code related. For the past years I've been constantly in the process of learning something new, and I will explain my approach and how it helps me minimize my unproductive time and maximize the value I get. So let's start with the don'ts. Well, don't be like me. When I was just starting out with coding, I wasted my first 2 months looping in the tutorial hell. I was bombarded with a ton of info that didn't make sense at the time, only to find out later that 80% of the things I've learned was already outdated. In comparison to random learning, this framework brings 3 main benefits. First, it saves me a ton of time. Second, it ensures that the information that I'm getting is more up to date and less garbage. And 3, and that's the most important thing for me, it lowers the possibility of giving up because, let's be real, it's really easy to give up on your learning if you are constantly feeling stuck. So let's see how I approach it using as example React, the popular front-end library. Initially, I just buy a course. It is true that you can find everything online and for free, but the true cost of free information is the time you spend searching for it. There are courses on Udemy that go for 15 euros, and they can save you weeks, if not months, of your learning. Okay, but there are thousands of options out there and we have to narrow them down. I know that there is not such a thing as a perfect course, so I just try to find the one with the less flaws. I search in a course platform for what I want to learn, and I open the top 5 results. Small tip, I just ignore the very short options. For example, I don't think that you can learn React in 5 hours on-demand video. Now, for each one of these 5 courses, I watch the introduction video and I'm paying attention to the voice and the accent of the tutor. If I find it boring or difficult to understand, I just skip the course, since there is no chance I'll follow up for 55 hours this way. Then I read the content and the reviews. Here I will see whether the course is up to date or not. I'm searching for recent reviews that state that the content is not outdated. I'm reading a lot of the 1 and 2 star reviews just to see what people didn't like. If the things I read here are important to me, I just skip again. If I get past this point, I keep the course as an option and proceed to the next one. That way, in the end, I'm left with 2 or 3 courses, so I just buy the one with the most reviews. Now that I have my guide in place, I start coding along with a tutor, building the same project that he builds chapter by chapter. It is important for me to deeply understand what is presented in the course. That's why I focus on 1 chapter at a time. I don't make it a hard rule though. If the course has small chapters, I batch them in the way it feels logical. In the React example, I would batch my learnings as follows. First, a refresh of my JavaScript knowledge. Then basic React features like components, state management and hooks. After that, 1 React library at a time. For example, Redux is 1 batch and React Router is another batch. At the end of each batch, I research in other sources for the same topic, trying to clarify anything that wasn't 100% clear. When I'm sure that I understood everything, I proceed to build something by utilizing all the techniques and tools I just learned. This alone is the single most important thing that gives me 80% of the results in the learning procedure. There is no other way to learn how to code other than getting your hands dirty. Just a small tip here, try to build something that is really interesting to you. This way you're gonna motivate yourself and you're gonna do it in the best possible way. During the whole process, there might be some overlap with things that I already know. In this case, I check the GitHub repository of the course for that specific part. If I understand what I'm seeing, I simply pass this part. Otherwise, I still do it as a revision. Once I finish with the course, even if I am certain that I understood everything, I build 1 big project that combines all the knowledge I gained, and believe me, most of the time, I need to look up a ton of things. In our React example, I would build a multi-page React application using Redux Toolkit for the global state management and data fetching. This final project ensures that I deeply understood the whole thing, and also it is an interesting addition in my personal GitHub. So, to sum everything up, the framework consists of 3 steps. First, find the course. Second, break it down to batches and focus to each batch separately. And third, do a final revision in the end. I hope you found some value in this video and that you will use this framework when you learn your next big or small thing.